So now it is visible.
Is it visible, the slide?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So in the last class we are discussing about this topic, Fick's second law, and we have seen this equation, differential equation, and this concentration is a function of two variables, time and distance. So we need the solution. We need the solution of this equation. Now you can try to solve yourself and see, because you have been given or you have been taught a lot of differential equations, and you can have a try on that. But we only use the solution to solve the problems. Now if you want to derive the equation, it is something like this. Just let me tell you. So we are considering a distance delta x, and at the at this at the beginning we are considering that this flux as jx, and at a distance delta x the flux will be x plus delta x. So the accumulation of the material within this distance, and if we consider a unit area, then the volume will be delta x into unit area. So delta x, volume will be delta x. So accumulation becomes this jx minus jx plus delta x. This is the accumulation. So this is in terms of differential form. So the total accumulation we can write rate of change in concentration into the volume, and which is equal to this, and if this is reduced in this form, then finally you will get this. So this is the derivation of the Fick's second law. Now the solution of this is the graphical representation of this. Now this is the solution. So this is the equation, and we get the solution something like this. So in this equation, where c is a function of x and t, equals to a minus b error function of this quantity x divided by 2 root dt. So this type of solution comes. So we need to have the idea of error function. We need to have the idea of error function. You can see the error function properties. Now let me explain the basic significance of this error function. Now the properties of error function has been written here. The error function, value of error function for the variable infinity, if the value of the variable is infinity, then 1. If it is minus infinity, then it is minus 1, and if it is 0, then it is 0. And error function, value of error function of minus x equals to minus of error function of x. So these are the 4 basic properties of error function. Now if you want to know details about this error function, you can consult any book. You can consult Grewal also, engineering mathematics, higher engineering mathematics. There this error function concept and properties has been explained. Now what is the significance? Significance is that this error function looks like it is basically a bell-shaped curve, something like this, and if we integrate this error function up to a certain value, let us say gamma, so you will get this area, and the area from 0 to infinity, will be plus 1, and on the left hand side it will be minus 1. So this area, shaded portion, actually shows the area from 0 to some value gamma. So basically we get the area. So this is the significance of error function, and let us see how we can use this error function to solve the problem related to diffusion. So in this equation, our objective will be to find out these two constant A and B from the given boundary conditions. So for any problem related to diffusion, you'll have to first see what is the boundary condition and put those boundary conditions in such a way that you can get two equations, and you solve those two equations to get the values of A and B. So then these equations will be known to you. Another point is that the value of this error function, if you want to find out every time, it becomes difficult. So there will be a table of error function for a particular variable value. So for solving the problem, if it is required, those values will be given to you for your exam purpose, and by using those values you can find out you can solve the problem. So let us see a few examples how we can use this error function and we can solve the problem. হ্যাঁ, আমি তো ক্লাসে আছি, বলো। ও না না, ওটা করা হয়নি তো। আচ্ছা আচ্ছা আচ্ছা, আচ্ছা আচ্ছা আচ্ছা, হ্যাঁ 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 হ্যাঁ, ওকে ওকে, ঠিক আছে। So actually what happens, given a problem, your boundary condition is to be written properly. Let us take a problem, then it will be clear. So once you put these boundary conditions, then you will get the equation, and you can solve the problem. Let us take a problem. So let us theoretically say, they see the one area, let us say carburization of steel, application of Fick's second law. Carburization means I was giving one example, that after machining some components, we quite often perform heat treatment to improve the surface properties of the component. So this is nothing but carburization. The process is called carburization. And gas carburizations or pack carburization, different types of carburization processes are there, where basically we try to deposit carbon atoms on the surface, and thereby we try to form a compound on the surface which is called the cemented carbide. So the surface becomes very hard. So the carburization of steel. Now if this is the process, let us explain this diagram first. So on the right hand side, whatever you can see, it is the material to be carburized. And let us consider that initially the material has got a concentration of C0. And on the left hand side is the carburizing medium or environment, where the concentration is definitely higher, and it is denoted by CS. So there is a difference in concentration. This difference is CS minus C0. So because of this difference in concentration, what happens, from the carbon environment, the carbon atoms enters into the surface of the material, and the concentration profile will be something like this. At the surface itself, the concentration will be highest, and as you go deep into the material, the concentration will come down. So this will be the concentration profile in case of carburization process. Now for this process, if you want to write the boundary condition, we can write that when C initial condition, let us say, when C equal to 0 and T equal to 0 and T has got any value, then it is CS. This is the boundary condition. X equal to 0, and T for any value, we have got the value of concentration equal to Cs. And another we can write that actually it should be, let us say it is C1. That means for any value x and for t value equal to 0, it should be C0, not it should be C0. It is not C1. Okay, are you getting?
Yes, sir.
Here
Okay, sir.
instead of C1, you should write it C0. So accordingly, the equation will be changed. And then if you solve these two equations, you will get the value of A as Cs and B as Cs minus C0. So if you
Okay, sir.
if you put the value of A and B in the initial equation, so the equation is known to you. So this is the first step. You put the boundary condition and try to find out the value of A and B. Now let us take this problem. One problem is given. The problem says a 0.2% carbon still needs to be surface carburized such that the concentration of carbon at 0.2 millimeter depth is 1%. So this is our requirement. And this percentage of carbon indirectly indicates what is the degree of hardness at that particular depth. So percentage of carbon can be related to the mechanical properties. So indirectly we can measure the mechanical properties by measuring the percentage of concentration of the diffusing atoms. So the carburizing medium imposes a surface concentration of 1.4%, and the process is carried out at 900 degrees centigrade. So this is the problem. Now we are supposed to find out the carburizing time. What is the time required? In the question it has not been written, I think. It should be okay. So let us proceed, then it will be clear. So data, what are the data given? This data is that D0. That means that if you remember the equation of diffusivity, there was a constant known as D0. So for carbon in gamma iron, that means carbon is getting diffused into this iron. So this structure is FCC. For that, already experimentally this has been determined. This D0 has been there in the data book. So from data we are taking these values. So D0 equal to this, and the activation energy per mole Q, capital Q, equal to 157 kilojoule per mole. So this data is given. Now what we want to find out first, that we have given this data, we try to find out what is the boundary condition. So we have got this first boundary condition C0 equal to 0.2% carbon. So we can write this C0 as C x0 equals to C infinity into T. So that way we can write. We can write this boundary condition, and another boundary condition we can write as Ts equals to C x equal to 0, and for any t value it will be 1.4. So as I have already explained, like that you can write the boundary conditions to get the two equations. Now we'll have to solve these two equations to get the value of A and B. Put this A and B in equation number 1, say, then it is known to you. So the constants A and B are determined from the boundary and initial conditions. So what we are getting the value of C x equal to 0, and for any t value it is equal to 0.014, and this you can calculate this. So basically from equation number 1, what is given is that at 0.2% 2 millimeter depth, you have got 1% carbon. 1% carbon. So putting this value in equation number 1, so this CXT is known to you. CXT is known to you, and from this equation, what you require is that you have to find out this value of this error function. You have to find out the value of error function. So what will be the expression of error function? The expression of error function will be something like this, where we have everything known on the left hand side. CS is known, C0 is known, CXT is known. So if we can put this value, so our equation 2 becomes like this. So error function of something equals to 1/3. It is coming as 1/3. Next, what is to be done is that, so this is the equation. This equation is to find out the value of diffusivity or coefficient of diffusion at 900 degrees centigrade. You have been given D0, and you know what is the value of Q. R is of course known. T is the absolute temperature. So 900 plus 273. So from here you can get what is the value of D. Once D is known, this D value comes out to be 7.14 into 10 to the minus 12. So now in this equation number 2, if you look that here D is known to us, only unknown is T, the time required or carburizing time that we want to find out. So from here, what we find that error function comes out to be, the value of error function comes out to be 0.333. So now we'll have to use a table. Now we'll have to use a table of error function, where this you have got this value of error function as 0.33, and corresponding to that, what will be the value of the variable? What will be the value of the variable? So you have got a table with 2 columns. One is variable, and another one is the value of the error function with respect to that particular variable. So from that table, you can find out what will be the value of the variable. So here, value of the variable comes out to be 0.309. So what we are doing is that we are equating that particular value with the quantity that is there within this bracket. So once we can equate, once we are equating this and putting all these values, we are actually getting the value of T. So this is the process. I don't know whether I am clear or not. If I am not clear, then I will explain again. Any question on that? এই বোঝা গেল?
হ্যাঁ স্যার বোঝা গেছে।
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
Okay. So if it is okay, then another point you should remember that sometimes what we'll have to need to perform some interpolation. Suppose if there is a big difference between the values, and the values are within 2 values, sometimes we need to perform the interpolation to get the actual value of the variable. So that will depend on the type of problem. And if you are exactly getting the value of the variable, of course, from the table, then there is no need of performing the interpolation. So this is one problem. Let us see another problem. So this is a problem where we want to determine the temperature at which the diffusion process is to be carried out. So an FCC iron carbon alloy initially containing 0.2% carbon weight percentage is carburized at an elevated temperature and in an atmosphere that gives a surface carbon concentration of 1%. After 49.5 hours, the concentration of carbon is 0.35% at a position 4 millimeter below the surface. Determine the temperature at which the treatment was carried out. So it is, instead of calculating the value of T, we are going to find out the temperature. Instead of time, we are going to calculate the temperature. It is nothing, the process is same. Writing the boundary conditions for this problem. So we'll get two boundary conditions here as it is written. Number one, C0T equals to Cs at x equal to 0, and this. So putting these values here, we will get the value of A and B. Next step is to find out what is the value of this error function, this total value. So actually in some books directly it is written for certain processes. Expression can be directly used. This expression like Cx minus C0 divided by Cs minus C0 equals to 1 minus a error function of this variable. So this equation can be directly written. If you can remember, you can directly write this expression. So diagrammatically it is same problem, carburizing process. So diagram will be same. So here this data is given, all this data is given. So what I was telling is that after putting these values, we get the value of error function here f z. Here z has been taken as this expression x divided by 2 root dt as z. So error function z equals to 0.8125. This value I am getting. Now if I look at the table, I will get that, I will see that the value of the table will be given something like this. Some more values will be there. So we have taken only this range because our z value is lying within these two values. So this is in between two values. So I will perform some interpolation to find out the value of z corresponding to this value of error function, which is 0.8125. So if I perform this interpolation, then I am getting this z value as 0.93. So I will take this z value or the value of the variable as z. So this I will put as z equals to, or 0.93 equal to x divided by 2 root dt. So from here I can find out what is the value of t, because t is known. So I can find out the value of d from here. So once d is known, then I will put that in that original equation of d. So here d is known, and of course d naught is, everything will be known to me. So I can calculate the temperature or carburizing temperature, whatever you can call this temperature, from this equation. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us take another problem. So okay, this is the error function table. So this type of table you can use, or if data is required, you will be provided, because every time integrating this error function becomes a problem. So we directly use this table to solve the problem. So this
Sir, in
is,
exams, will it be provided to us?
yes, the data will be given and the table values will be given to you.
Okay, sir.
So let us see the another problem. This problem says that a 20 millimeter duralumin plate. You know what is duralumin? Is covered on both sides by 0.2 millimeter thick pure aluminium sheets. For retaining the corrosion resistance property, the copper concentration at a depth of 0.1 millimeter from the outer surface should not exceed 0.4%. How long can the material be kept at 823 K without damaging the corrosion resistance property? Actually, duralumin is an alloy of magnesium, copper, zinc, and aluminium, which is used for constructing the body of aircraft, as you know. So it is a very, very important material, and because these alloying elements are added. But one problem is that if the outer surface concentration here in this problem, actually what happens, the concentration of copper should not exceed 0.4%. So let us see in a schematic diagram what is our problem says. what the problem says. Actually, this is the diagram. So the central portion of length 20 millimeter, not in scale, but just to give you idea, 20 millimeter is the duralumin sheet, and duralumin consists of 4% copper, aluminium 95%, magnesium 0.5%, and manganese 0.5%. So this is the composition of duralumin. Now, in the problem it is then said that duralumin sheet is covered with this aluminium sheet, and the idea is to reduce the corrosion resistance. Otherwise, some diffusion will take place, and if the percentage of copper concentration reduces to a certain extent, then the material will degrade. So that is why we provide a two sides will give the taping, or aluminium sheet is provided on both the sides to reduce the corrosion resistance, improve the corrosion resistance property. And the thickness of the aluminium sheet that has been given is 0.2 millimeter, and this is the schematic diagram. So from here, what we expect is that if the temperature is quite high, then what will happen? The copper will diffuse into the pure aluminium sheet, and the concentration profile, if we consider on the right hand side, we are considering the right hand side, and we are considering here as origin, to in between the two contact surfaces. On the left hand side it is duralumin, and on the right side pure aluminium sheet. So this is the contact surface, and we are considering y-axis, which indicates the concentration, and on the right hand side we are taking the distance, not t, it should be distance. So anyway, it has some data has been given about the concentration at a depth of 0.1 millimeter. This data is given. So when the diffusion process takes place, the concentration after some time, the concentration of the copper concentration will be something like this. So on the surface of duralumin, the concentration reduces, and in the aluminium sheet the concentration of copper increases, but there should be some limitation so that we can have the corrosion resistance property. That is the problem. So here it has been asked how long the material can be kept. So we are supposed to find out the time. We are supposed to find out the time given this data. So the process is same. So from here we'll have to again write the boundary conditions. So we'll have to find the value of A and B. And in this problem, if you write this boundary condition, you will get A equal to B equals 2%. So error function value is coming out to be 0.8. So if you put this value, the given data, then you will get the diffusivity as this, and your X value is 0.1 millimeter, where we know the concentration. So X is known to us, B is known to us. From here I can find out what is the value of T. So T comes out to be approximately 98 minutes. So this is another process. It is a reverse process of carburization. It is a reverse process of carburization. It is called the decarburization. Decarburization is the reverse process. So what happens is that the carbon atoms diffuse into the surrounding environment from the surface of the component. So if carbon atom diffuse into the surrounding, the concentration is reduced, and this may affect the mechanical properties of the material. So decarburization should be prevented because surface property degrades, and for decarburization the concentration profile is something like this. So in order to solve this type of problem, what you should try to first know is that what will be the concentration profile for that particular problem, and likely concentration profile, and given from the given boundary condition, try to know the value of A and B, and you can find out what will be the concentration at a particular depth and for a particular time. That is the main idea. So basically, we will try to find out the concentration at a particular depth and for a particular time, which indirectly gives an idea regarding which can be related to the mechanical properties of the material. So that is how we are, solving the problem, or we are trying to understand the significance of the problem. So problem number 5, a steel component with carbon content 0.8% has been decarburized at 950 degrees centigrade for a duration of 4 hours in an atmosphere equivalent to 0% carbon at the surface of the component. Determine the minimum depth of machining to be done so that the carbon content at the surface after machining is not below 0.6%. So basically what is happening is that if on the left hand side it is the steel component, and from here carbon is diffusing into the right hand side atmosphere, which is atmosphere, so concentration at a depth from this on the left hand side, you see origin, from origin, if you take certain depth, then the concentration will get some value. So what has been given in this problem is that at a depth, minimum depth, that means we are supposed to find out X such that the concentration is 0.6%. So that is the problem. So what we have been given is that initial C2 is 0.8% initially, then C0, that means concentration of the environment is 0, and Cx, that means the concentration of carbon at a depth X equal to 0.6%. So these values are known. Accordingly, we know AB. Again, put these values in AB, and the process is same. So error function we are getting minus 0.75, and accordingly from the table we can get this because we are going towards left hand side, so it is negative. We are taking negative, so it is minus 0.81 from the error function table. So following the same process, you will get around 0.722 millimeters. So that means from this origin, if you go to a depth or left hand side X of 0.722 millimeter, your concentration in the surface will be 0.6. That means the machining depth will be X. So this is the value. Next, another problem here, applications we are discussing, that is doping of semiconductors. So this is also, diffusion process is also a process by which these semiconductors are manufactured. So you know the physics of that, basic about the doping process. So what is done here is that here also an artificial atmosphere is created of some atoms which is to be doped, and then the process of diffusion is conducted so that the atoms are diffused into the semiconductor materials, maybe silicon or germanium. Here is one example. Problem number 6. In order to manufacture P type of semiconductor, boron is doped in pure silicon. Doping process is carried out using a P2O3 vapor phase at partial pressure equals to 1.5 Pascal. This atmosphere is equivalent to a surface concentration of 3 into 10 to the power 26. Now pressure, partial pressure can be related to the surface concentration here. So boron atoms per cubic meter. Calculate the time required to get the boron content of 10 to the power 3 at a depth of 2 micrometer. Given diffusivity of boron in silicon at doping temperature as 4 into 10 to the minus 17 meters per second. So idea is same. We have the required concentration and surface concentration. We have atmospheric, environmental concentration. Same idea we are applying here, giving the boundary condition, or finally we are, calculating the error function and then we are calculating the time required, because it is the time which actually determines the concentration level here. So how long we should keep that particular component in that atmosphere so that we will get this concentration. So on solving this problem, we get around 64 minutes. So this is another example. Then this topic is called the, how this, so far what we have understood is that this diffusivity is a very, very important, parameter here for diffusion. So how to determine this diffusivity experimentally, and whatever data that has been given in any book regarding diffusion or diffusivity, it has been experimentally determined. And D can be determined experimentally using a diffusion couple. So diffusion couple, what are the steps are to be followed? Number one, the diffusion couple is kept in an atmosphere with high temperature so that diffusion can take place. Number two, it is kept for a fixed time period. Number three, the diffusion couple is taken out and thin slices of couple perpendicular to the diffusion direction are determined out in a precision lead. Number four, chemical analysis is carried out to estimate the value of concentration as a function of X. That means we try to calculate the concentration of the diffusing species as a function of X. That means C as a function of X. And D is calculated from the available data. As we have solved so many problems, so from there we can calculate the value of T. So it looks like this. So this is a diffusion couple. Left hand side one metal, let us say we can consider A. On right hand side B. So we are interested for some species, diffusing species, such that on A side you have got the concentration C2, and on the right hand side, or that means in metal B, it has got a concentration C1. So this is the difference in concentration initially. So C2 minus C1 is the difference in concentration initially. So initially when T equals to 0, the concentration profile looks like this blue line, sharp, step function. But when you are increasing the diffusion time, or T not equal to T greater than 0 for some value, maybe 2 hours, let us say. So you are performing diffusion for 2 hours. So concentration profile will be like this green curve, green curve. And if you increase the time further, say 10 hours or 12 hours, maybe more than that, so the concentration profile will be something like this. So these are the three different curves have been given to give you the idea. So once we have got this diffusion performed for a fixed time period, then on the right hand side, what we do, we try to determine the function Tx, C as a function of X. So once we know what is the concentration at a certain distance X, that will help us to solve the problem using that one equation, the solution of Fick's second law equation. And other points are known to us because this concentration C1 and C2 is known to us. So putting the boundary conditions, again we can find out what is the value of A and B, and that equation is known to us. So we can find out the value of D, diffusivity. So this is how we can find out this important parameter. So you can see the textbook. You can solve some more problems, some conceptual parts you can do. So far as diffusion part is concerned, we have completed. We will discuss up to this, and remaining things you can keep from your textbook.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
So today I have some work. So today I will not continue. So,
Okay, sir.
so the next day we will start a new topic. Probably the composite material will start. Okay.
Okay, sir.
স্যার টপিকটা আরেকবার বলুন কি টপিক?
Composite.
Probability and composite.
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা
ঠিক আছে তাহলে সন্দীপ
হ্যাঁ।
পাঠিয়ে দেবে সন্দীপ।
Thank you, sir.
এই সন্দীপ শুনতে পেয়েছো?
হ্যাঁ স্যার সন্দীপ
অ্যাটেন্ডেন্সটা পাঠিয়ে দেবে।
ওকে থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার
ওকে।